He's a rider. I am Andy Baskin, and I am. Oh, I didn't spell
Tired
it.
of dealing with me.
Not really. I'm just.
You're just trying to come up with creative things to type under your name. Is that
I
what
am
you're doing?
today. I am.
Okay. Baskin found a new toy, so
I
we're
did.
spending the podcast. You're in a bad mood. Gee,
Yes.
I would have never guessed.
I think I'm just exhausted. I did 7 high school football games this weekend, so maybe that's why. And then the
That's-
Browns lose.
Hey,
It's
by
a
the
lot
way,
easier when the
speaking
Browns.
of which,
Yes.
congratulations, Glenville. Congratulations to St. Edwards, and congratulations to the Kirtland Hornets.
Dude, how could you leave Perry out?
And Perry, the Perry
We know where
Pirates.
Perry is now. Perry had a great game. They played great. Congratulations to them. So
Yeah.
what Lake County ended up with 2 of the 7 championships. That's right.
Must be the water up there.
Look out. Lake Catholic's going to be good again next year too. So and then if Menor turns things around, wow. I mean, it's amazing to me how good Lake County football is and how there's so many good football players in that small area right there. All right. So now I'm not in a bad mood anymore.
See, just we needed to show the high school kids some love.
Yeah.
Job well done.
Jake Laverty did a post-game interview with him. Did you see that?
No, I
Look
missed
it up.
I'm sorry, I missed all your post-game interviews.
You missed it. 60,000 hits, man. More hits than this is doing. I can tell you that. 60,000.
I almost said something else.
Go ahead, knock it out. I don't care. Type it on the bottom. Put them underneath your name.
Nope.
All right, let me ask you this because we got a lot of feedback on that. So, all right, I'm about to get fired up again. Ready? All right, so Deshaun Watson sat in the suite and did not go down on the sidelines. And I could not get over how many people were upset about that. Should they have been?
Nah, because here's the thing. I mean, I would say that I get both sides of the argument, right? You should be on the sidelines, even if you're hurt, whatever. But there's also like the comfort factor and the fact that he's coming off surgery and stuff like that. He was there. He was in the locker room. He was on the field before the game. I'm guessing he was on the field after the game. You know what I'm saying? Like he was there. I think that if people are getting themselves,
mad. People are mad. Like,
yeah,
it's a
you know
bad
what?
look.
Then you're looking for something to be mad about.
I thought it was ridiculous. And the other thing I thought about was if Deshaun's on the sidelines and he's talking to somebody and all of a sudden the play, like, I don't think people realize how big, how fast, and how quick things happen on the sidelines.
Yeah.
It's not a very safe place to be.
Look what happened in Philadelphia between the 49ers and the Eagles. What kind of a mess that is now that they're going to have to deal with. So yeah,
but you have no idea how many people have been hurt on the sidelines, and we don't even talk about it because most of the people don't play the game,
right?
That are getting hurt, right? So
yeah,
but I think the thing is, let's just say someone starts running.
The chain gang guy had his leg snapped in half. Yeah. Yeah. So the sidelines are a pretty dangerous place to be if you're not playing or coaching.
So I'm with you. So let's just say Deshaun's on the sideline, right?
Right.
And a play comes towards him, and he's trying to get out of the way. He loses his balance and falls back on that shoulder again.
Right.
Is that what we need? No.
Oh, no.
So I have no problem with that. The other thing, too, is if he wanted to go with his girlfriend, she shouldn't be on the sideline. So they should be sitting in the suite.
I just
in the stands or wherever. I don't care.
To complain about.
Then the other thing I heard today was, well, he should have been wearing Browns gear while he was in the sidelines. Who cares? Who cares? Was he wearing Steelers gear? Then I might be pissed. But I got to be honest. Who cares what he was wearing?
Yeah. I just think that whole conversation is people looking for reasons to be mad about something. You want to be frustrated as a fan, be frustrated that guys are hurt and the season is teetering on falling apart. You want to be frustrated that the defense is looking like it's starting to show some wear and tear, right? That they're not playing at their best when they're needed to play at their best. Those are legit frustrations for like a Browns fan, right?
Right. I agree.
The fact that they're amidst what was supposed to be a really good season for them, and it has been for the most part, right? I mean, they're 7-4 in the thick of things, or 7-5, I should say, in the thick of things. But I just think that sometimes fans are are looking for an outlet for their frustrations, right? When there isn't blame to go around. Like I can criticize Kevin for not punting there with 2.5 minutes to play and going for it on 4th down. The rest of it, though, I can't really criticize. I mean, Joe Flacco's interception was him taking another shot down the field, which is what Joe Flacco does, right? Throw happened to be short. John Johnson III made a great play, and unfortunately, that ended up costing the Browns points, right? And momentum away from them.
I still think about Njoku's half a foot that just barely grazed. That I mean, that was a game changer too.
Right. So, like, I just feel like, unfortunately, the uncontrollables right now are what's controlling this Browns season. The injuries are just, they've been able to weather so many storms here. And even in the first time around when Deshaun was out, they weathered that. But then once he was lost for the season, even in the back of my mind, I'm thinking they can't survive this. They might limp into the playoffs, but they're going to get kicked out really quick because they don't have a competent quarterback. Well, Joe Flacco showed you Sunday in Los Angeles, he's a competent quarterback. Is he the same player he was that won a Super Bowl? No, but he's competent. He can make all the throws on the field. You have to respect his arm, right? So
he's the second best starting quarterback in the AFC North right now after one game.
Right. So that's why I think, fans are, getting all upset about this Deshaun thing in LA or whatever. And I mean, the reason to be upset about that is if he didn't go out to practice when they were practicing at UCLA to visit with them, or if he didn't go if he just stayed away, completely detached himself from the organization, then I think you've got something tangible as a fan to criticize him for. But criticize him because he didn't stay on a sideline where it's a dangerous place to be and he wasn't wearing team apparel, I think you're really, really grasping at straws at this point. And again, I get the frustration of Browns fan because the only thing that could derail this season, remember in the preseason, you and I were talking about what could go wrong. What could go wrong this year?
Injuries. That was the biggest
thing.
Right.
But I wouldn't say it. You were trying to get me to say it. And I'm like, I'm not putting it out there. I'm not saying it. I won't say I won't say the word. And unfortunately, that is what is undoing this season right now. And yes, there's some little things with Stefanski decision-making and play calls that we can nitpick. And that's what we do. That's part of the fun of being a fan, doing what we do for a living. But the uncontrollables of these injuries, I understand why Browns fan is frustrated. That was a winnable game Sunday in LA. The week before against Denver was a winnable game. And, and now Amari Cooper, don't know what's going to happen with him. Don't know the status of Denzel Ward yet. Myles Garrett's playing with one arm at this point. So I get the frustration because there was so much hope and promise when this team was 7-3. And now the reality is starting to set in that this is going to be tough. Like right now, as we talk, the Browns are the 7th seed according to the National Football League.
Right.
Okay. They're the 7th seed. They're the 3rd place team in their division. Pittsburgh's 5. Indianapolis is 6. A quick reminder, it's a 4-way tie. Yeah. Houston's also 7-5. 4-way tie, head-to-head between the Browns and the Colts do not apply in the tie-breaking scenarios. Okay. It's a bunch of other things, but Browns v. Colts do not matter right now because the Colts, they're 2nd place in their division. The Browns are 3rd place in their division. And that's one of the tiebreakers that matter in a 3-4+ team tiebreaker.
So where you land in your division is more important than head-to-head.
Well, when you have this 4-team tiebreaker, yes, okay. Absolutely. Now it's at 3 weeks. When they go to Houston, see, to me, the playoffs for the Browns, I just don't, we'll get into this on our next podcast, Andy. I don't know that beating Jacksonville with the way they're playing, I don't know that that's realistic. So if they lose that game, it's going to be hard to really be upset at that, right?
Right.
So that gets them, that's 7-6. The Bears is winnable. That should get them to 8-6, right?
Right.
But then I think 11's the magic number for them because I feel like they have to beat the Texans in Houston. They have to come home and beat the Jets, and then they have to go to Cincinnati and beat the Bengals.
Okay.
That gets them into the playoffs. So right now, yeah, things seem to be slipping a little bit for the Browns, and I get the nervousness, and I'm a little nervous right now about their.
Let me just
playoff
say
run.
this. If they come out and win on Sunday, everyone's going to have their mind at ease a little bit. But that would also probably mean that Denzel's playing. That would mean that Miles has a better game than he had, and that they feel like Joe Flacco can move them
Right.
to the next phase. All right, I do want to talk about the Jaguars, but first I want to watch them against Cincinnati in the Monday Nighter. And so that'll give us something to talk about as we head into a little bit later in this week when we come back with our other editions of It's Always Game Day in Cleveland. Again, he's Daryl Ryder. I'm Andy Baskin for our fabulous producer, Meredith Kane. Thank you for partaking in our little
Buffoonery.
soiree. Is that fair?
Andy's buffoonery.
My buffoonery soiree and all around good time.
Discovering a keyboard.
It is always, hang on a second. Yep, I'll just let it go. It's always game day in Cleveland.